Back in 2010, I was a victim of an attempted murder. I was stabbed 9 times on my estate. So that was something St. Michael's also knew about. So they obviously knew about the fact that I've been in prison, and, you know, as a youth, you know, I always used to get in trouble, and, you know, I was involved with the local gangs and all of them sort of stuff. So yeah, he just used to try, you know, his best to like talk to me, because he knew that I had a temper back then. That's the reason why, you know, Lorraine and that see how I am now, and they're like, right, like, you're different. Like, oh, before, when they knew me, I was a whole different person. I wasn't the person that I am today, you know. I used to just give everybody attitude. I wouldn't work with anyone, you know. I was just hard-headed, and that was because of how I grew up, you know. So when they met me, I weren't involved in gangs, but I was still the same kind of person. I had attitude. I didn't want to work with no one. Apart from David, I didn't used to hear anything, because Lorraine, she used to work with Mum, and there was a period where me and Mum just wasn't getting along. So, you know, I just used to basically just give everybody attitude and just not listen to anything. So this is when things started to get really hard. So I had to get back in contact with St. Michael's and stuff, and then that's when I started working with Arnold. And then we ended up going back to court, because my assessment was balanced. We asked for me to be assessed again by another basically independent social worker. So, and on my first assessment, I had my negatives and my positives, so they said they wanted me to work on my negatives, which I did with Arnold. Thank God, Arnold. which I worked with Arnold. So when I had my second assessment, parent assessment, it was just completely positive. So the local authority changed their care plan from one of adoption to place into my care. You know the whole slanting, and because everyone knows where I've come from, you know, and I'm just, you know, whatever you're used to is whatever you're used to, whether it's wrong or right, what you're used to is what you're used to, and that's what I was used to, you know. I didn't know, you know, by my body language, it says a lot of things. So yeah, it's just the little stuff that he knew. He also knew that I needed work on, we worked on. I didn't know that like we had so much in common, because Arnold, he must have given me a call one day, and he was like, I want you to speak to one of these young dads, like, you lot got so much in common. And when he said so much in common, I didn't think nothing of it. So I was coming from work, I was tired, and that I came. He's like, yeah, meet this is another young dad. He sat down and he's like, basically tell him what happened to you in 2010. And I told him I was stabbed 9 times in 2010. And he was like, how old was you? I was like 18 then. He turned around and he was like, so was I? And I was like, huh? Then he was like, tell him where the mother of your child used to live, you know. So I told him, and he was like, so does mine. And I was like, huh? You know, and then like, I could tell he's a bit like me, because he's still kind of like, you know, hard-headed, and he's doing what I was doing without seeing it. And that's not being child-focused. He's still caring about, if social services makes me feel a way, I'm just going to be rude and give attitude, and it's not the way to go about it. So I was trying to just make him see that, you know, like, I've been through it, like, you know, like, you have to be able to take it in and just, you know, hold yourself back and just remember you're doing it for your child, you know. It's not about you, because every single time you know, throw attitude and stuff, you're doing it because they're making you feel away, and it's not even about you. You know, you need to keep your composure, because it's about your child, you know. And if a child-centered parent will always put the child first, regardless of how it makes him feel. And that's something that I've learned, you know, because when professionals used to make me feel away, I just wouldn't work with them. But then, you know, it's making my daughter's situation worse. So it's not me putting my daughter first, it's me putting how they're making me feel first. I mean, how they're making me feel, which is not child-centered. And that's something that I was just trying to show him.